You want to review every client interaction. Perfect, your inbox is about to blow up. I've been working at this small marketing agency for just over a year now. It's my first real job after college, and I've been thrilled to have actual clients and responsibilities. Well, I was thrilled until we get a new account manager, Debbie. Not her real name, obviously. Debbie came from one of those corporate mega agencies, where apparently they micromanage the living daylights out of everyone. From day one, she had concerns about my communication style with clients. Mind you, I'd been praised by these same clients for being responsive and helpful. Last month, after I sent what I thought was a perfectly normal email to our biggest client about a small scheduling change, Debbie called an emergency meeting. From now on, I need to approve all client communications before they go out, she announced, with that fake smile managers use when they're being unreasonable, but pretending they're helping you. Everything. Emails, phone call notes, text messages, meeting agendas. Send them to me first for review. When I pointed out that this would slow down our response times, she just waved her hand dismissively. It's about quality control. Better to be right than fast. Fine. You want all communications? You got it. I started that very afternoon. Every single thing. If a client asked what time a call was scheduled, I drafted an email response and sent it to Debbie. Awaiting your approval on this time confirmation. If a client texted asking for a quick file, I'd screenshot it and email Debbie. Please approve my response to this text message. I even created a special folder in my drafts called Waiting Debbie's Approval and set up an automated counter. By the end of day one, I had sent her 17 approval requests. By the end of week one, it was over 100. The best part? I stopped answering my phone when clients called. Instead, I'd let it go to voicemail, then email Debbie. Client X called about Y. My proposed response is attached. Please approve. After about 2 weeks, Debbie was drowning. She'd fallen behind on approving my communications, which meant clients weren't getting responses. They started escalating to her directly, which doubled her workload. The breaking point came when our biggest client emailed both of us complaining about delays. I responded to the client with, I've forwarded your concerns to Debbie for approval of my response. Once approved, I'll get back to you promptly. The next morning, Debbie stopped by my desk looking exhausted. I think we need to adjust our approval process, she said, trying to maintain her corporate dignity. Moving forward, just use your judgment for routine communications. Only send me things that involve project scope, timeline changes, or budget discussions. Are you sure? I asked innocently. I have about 30 draft responses waiting for your review right now. She visibly cringed. That won't be necessary anymore. I've been happily sending emails without approval for 2 weeks now. Debbie barely makes eye contact in the hallway, and honestly, that's fine by me. The best part? My quarterly review is coming up, and all those approval emails are documented proof that I've been trying my absolute best to follow company protocol. Sometimes malicious compliance is the best teacher. Documentation will save your cookies. I was a contractor in a government office. My background is extensive, starting with multiple engineering degrees and many years of designing, building, and operation of remotely operated vehicles, ROVs. There was constant personnel churn in the office, and the contractors were the corporate memory. It's an interesting situation. I always likened it to a feudal society. Staffers, direct government employees, were the royalty and contractors were the serfs. Sometimes it was bothersome, but the position paid very well, so that was some benefit. Most of the time, the staffers knew they were in way over their heads and gladly accepted our advice. A woman staffer arrived one day as head of the department that managed our outside service contractors. Typically, I played a large advisory role in dealing with these folks as someone familiar with the industry and able to call bullshit, if you will. Well, this woman decided that I was conspiring behind her back with the contractors virtually on the first day there. Why, I never knew, but it was what it was. Luckily, I didn't answer to her. I answered to a guy who in a former life was a member of SEAL Team 6. Basically a trained killer, great guy. He liked me a lot, and we got along well together. When the foo-foo started, he pulled me aside and said, "Document everything you do." So I did as he suggested. I had a notebook in OneNote that I would record whatever I did that involved this woman, including her increasingly antisocial behavior towards me. We would be in meetings, and not only would she not look at me, when I asked her direct questions she wouldn't answer. Several times, this happened, and then there was this dead silence until someone else spoke. About this time, we get a new division manager who was very personnel sensitive. He was a PhD type in an operations role and completely out of his league, so he regressed to what he knew, making the office kinder and gentler. This was quite a challenge as we had an office full of ex-Navy types, and they weren't exactly used to being kinder and gentler. In a short period of time, the woman in question had skewered 5 other males in the office in her short tenure, with the result of them departing the office. Both staff and contractors. I would have been her 6th if she had had her way. So there was a lot of concern about my position. My boss was in my office one day talking about the latest antisocial behavior demonstrated by this woman. He made a comment, "Boy, I wish I had documentation of all this." I laughed, went to my computer, and printed off a 20-page dissertation on all the stupidity. His eyes lit up. "Come with me," he said. We went into the office of the new director, and my boss gave him my dossier. It took him a bit to read through it all. I had used the word harassment, which turned out to be the magic word in description of many of the episodes. He said, "I think harassment is too strong a word for this behavior." I asked him if a contractor was exhibiting this behavior towards a staffer, what would you call it? He didn't answer the question. About a week later, the woman was reassigned to a different organization. I always say, it's not good to go head-to-head with a trained killer.